The sirens faded behind me as I pressed harder on the wound in my side. My hands shook, slick with blood. Every breath came out sharp, cutting the silence inside the car. "Stay awake, Liam," I whispered to myself. "Don't black out now." The road stretched empty ahead, broken warehouses, flickering streetlights, and shadows that seemed to follow. My phone buzzed on the passenger seat. I didn't need to look. I already knew who it was. Ethan, I answered anyway. "You tried to kill me." His voice came through calm, steady, like nothing had happened. "You should have stayed out of it." "Out of what?" I gasped. "We were supposed to be partners." "We were," he said quietly. "Until you stopped following orders." My throat tightened. "You set me up, Liam. It's bigger than you think." "Walk away," I laughed bitterly. "You shot me, Ethan. You don't get to tell me to walk away." There was silence on the line. A slow breath, then click. He hung up. I threw the phone aside and focused on the road. The warehouse district ended at a dead street leading into a row of old garages. I knew one of them. I'd hidden gear there once, years ago. The car engine coughed and died. I rolled to a stop, clutching the flash drive I'd grabbed from the meeting. My proof, my only proof. When I pushed the garage door open, rust screamed against metal. The smell of oil hit me hard. I stumbled inside, locked the door, and slumped to the floor. My body shook, pain spreading like fire. For a moment, everything was still. Then my mind replayed it. The meeting, the gunfire, Ethan's face. "Liam," he'd said back there, "don't make this harder." "Harder?" I'd shouted. "You sold me out to them." The commission. That word alone could drown a man in fear. They weren't just criminals. They were puppeteers. Politicians, bankers, men who owned the air we breathed. I grabbed a rag from the shelf, pressed it against my wound, and hissed. My vision blurred. "You're not dying here," I muttered. "Not yet." Something clattered near my feet. A cassette tape, small, unlabeled, rolled out of my jacket pocket. I frowned. I didn't remember putting it there. When I picked it up, I saw 3 letters scratched in red ink across the side. LW, my initials. What the hell? I turned it over, trying to remember. The last time I'd seen Ethan, he'd reached into his coat during the chaos. A scuffle, a flash, a fall. Maybe he'd dropped this. I found an old tape player on a workbench, dusty but intact. When I pressed play, the static filled the room, followed by a familiar voice. "This is Ethan Cole. Timestamp 0300 hours. The meeting is confirmed. Ward will take the blame. No loose ends." My heart froze. Repeat. "If anything goes wrong, eliminate him. The commission doesn't forgive mistakes." I slammed the stop button. "You bastard." The tape shook in my hand. I wanted to smash it, but something inside me stopped. Proof. This was proof. Ethan's voice, recorded, confessing everything. Then a knock echoed against the metal door. Once. Twice. I froze, holding my breath. "Liam." A woman's voice whispered from outside. "It's me. It's Mara." I stepped closer. "Mara Jensen?" "Open the door." "They're coming." I hesitated. I hadn't seen Mara since the last mission. She was Ethan's tech, sharp, fearless, but loyal to no one. "Why are you here?" I asked. "They know you survived," she said quickly. "You've got something they want." My eyes flicked to the tape. "You mean this?" A pause. "Yes, give it to me, Liam. I'll protect you." I almost laughed. That's exactly what Ethan said before he pulled the trigger. "Liam, please." A loud car screeched outside, followed by boots on gravel. Mara's voice turned desperate. "You don't have time!" "Then run," I said, backing away. "Liam, listen to me." Gunfire exploded, shattering the night. I hit the ground as bullets tore through the walls. Mara screamed once, then silence. I crawled toward the door, every breath burning. Through the crack, I saw headlights fading and a body on the ground. I didn't need to check who it was. "Mara?" My voice broke. I looked down at the tape again. Ethan's voice still echoed in my head. "Ward will take the blame." I wanted to cry, but anger drowned everything else. "You'll pay for this, Ethan," I whispered. "I swear you will." I shoved the tape into my jacket pocket, grabbed the flash drive, and staggered to my feet. Outside, the wind carried the faint hum of engines leaving. I stepped out, the night air cold against my skin. The world had gone quiet, but inside me, everything screamed. I stared at the horizon, at the faint glow of city lights miles away, and whispered to myself, "If this tape is what I think it is, it's not just my life they'll destroy, it's everyone's." The farmhouse was miles from anywhere, Just stone walls, creaking floors, and the smell of old wood and medicine. I pressed my hand against my stitched wound, wincing as I moved. Dr. Avery Shaw looked up from the table. "You should be resting." "I've had worse," I muttered. He smirked. "That's a lie." I didn't answer. My eyes were on the tape player sitting between us. The same one from the garage, the one with my initials burned into it. Avery followed my stare. "You sure you want to hear it?" "I need to," he sighed. "Then brace yourself." I pushed the tape in. Static filled the room, then voices. Men, calm, expensive, dangerous. "The member of parliament will die on schedule. Who takes the blame?" "Ward, he's perfect, no family." "No noise." My chest tightened. Then Ethan's voice cut through, cold and clear. "I'll handle it. He trusts me." My stomach turned. I slammed the stop button, breathing hard. Avery's eyes softened. "That your friend?" "Was." I stood up, pacing. "He didn't just betray me, Avery. He made me the fall guy." The old man leaned back. "You expected loyalty from people like them?" "I expected it from him," I snapped. "He was my partner." "My brother." Avery said nothing. The silence pressed on me until I couldn't stand it. I grabbed the radio on the counter, flicked it on. Static. Then, breaking news. Former intelligence officer Liam Ward is wanted for treason and conspiracy in connection to the assassination of MP Graham Ridley. I froze. My name, my face. On every frequency. Authorities urge the public to report sightings immediately. Ward is considered armed and dangerous. I stared at the radio, my heart pounding. "They did it," I whispered. "They actually did it." Avery stepped closer. "Liam," I slammed the radio to the floor. It shattered. "They're turning me into a monster." He didn't flinch. "Then prove them wrong." I laughed bitterly. "With what?" "I've got one tape and a bullet wound." He poured me water, calm as ever. "Then you start with that." "You expose them." I sat down, burying my face in my hands. "You don't get it, Avery. The commission owns everything. Law, media, government. Ethan framed me because they told him to." He leaned forward. "Then why are you still breathing?" "That stopped me," he continued, voice low. "If they wanted you dead, they'd have sent someone better. You're alive because someone inside wants you to find something." I looked up. "You think there's more on the tape?" "I think there's always more," he said. I stared at the player again, hand trembling over the button. "If this kills me, then die standing," Avery said quietly. I hit play. The operation is confirmed. Ward's mission file will be deleted. Evidence planted in his flat. The narrative, lone agent gone rogue. And the media? Already briefed. I pressed stop again. The room spun. They planned everything. Every detail. Avery's voice broke through. "You can still clear your name." "No," I whispered. "They'll bury me before I even try." He handed me a folded map. "Then don't try to clear it. Hit back." Before I could answer, the lights flickered. I frowned. "That normal?" Avery stood, peering through the curtains. "No." Outside, headlights moved through the fields, slow, deliberate. Shadows followed. 4, maybe 5 figures. My pulse spiked. "They found me." Avery grabbed a rifle from under the table. "Back room, go." "No," I said. "If they're here for me, I'm not running." He gave me a sharp look. "Don't be stupid." "I've already been stupid," I muttered. The knock came, soft but heavy. "Dr. Shaw," a voice called. "We're with the government." "Step outside." Avery froze. "Government?" "Yeah," I said bitterly. "And I'm the Queen." "Liam," the voice said again, louder now. "We know you're inside." "Come out unarmed," I whispered. "How do they know I'm here?" Avery's eyes darkened. "You think I—" "Don't," I said quickly. "I trust you." Another voice joined in, female, commanding. "Liam Ward, this is Agent Harper Quinn, U.S. Intelligence. You have 5 seconds before we breach." "Harper." My pulse stumbled. I hadn't heard that name in years. I called out, "Harper, it's me." "Then step out," she shouted. Avery hissed. "She's with them?" "She used to be with me." He pointed to the back window. "Go now." "I can't," I said. "If I run, I prove them right," she shouted again. "Ward, last warning." I raised my voice. "You know me, Harper." "Check the recording, it's all there." "Ethan, the commission." Gunfire erupted outside. Glass shattered. Avery pulled me down. "They're not here to talk." We crawled behind the counter as bullets chewed through the walls. I reached for the tape. "If they get this, it's over." He grabbed my wrist. "Then protect it, whatever it takes." The shooting stopped. Silence. A voice barked. Move in. Avery whispered, window, go. I hesitated. I'm not leaving you. He gave a small smile. Someone has to tell the world. Before I could argue, the front door burst open. Light flooded the room. Avery shoved me toward the back. Run, Liam. I stumbled through the window, hit the ground, rolled, and ran across the wet field. Behind me, shouting, flashlights, boots pounding the soil. Stop! Someone yelled. I kept running until my lungs burned. When I looked back, the farmhouse was glowing orange. Fire, Avery was gone. I fell to my knees, gasping. In my hand, the tape was still warm. They're not hitmen, I whispered. They're the bloody government. And for the first time, I realized the commission hadn't just corrupted the system. They were the system. The rain followed me for miles, cold, relentless. Every drop sounded like a countdown. I kept my eyes on the back roads, headlights off, blood dried on my sleeve. The farmhouse burned behind me, but the tape still safe. I drove until the car coughed its last breath near an abandoned petrol station. That's where I called him. Elijah, it's me. A pause, then a nervous laugh. Jesus Christ, Ward, you're supposed to be dead. Not yet. I need a place, quiet, off-grid. Birmingham Warehouse, Unit 12. Don't bring anyone, I hung up. The drive took 3 hours. By the time I reached the warehouse, dawn was bleeding through the horizon. The metal door creaked open, revealing a lanky man in a hoodie and glasses, laptop glow lighting his face. Elijah smirked. You look like hell. Feels worse, I said, stepping inside. He eyed the tape in my hand. That it? The infamous LW mystery reel? Can you decrypt it? He shrugged. I can decrypt God if you give me a signal and caffeine. Then get to work. He sat, fingers flying over keys. The tape's static hiss turned digital, lines of code dancing on the screen. I watched, restless. So, he said without looking up, you finally pissed off the wrong people. The commission. They framed me for an assassination. He let out a low whistle. Big league. They've got my ex-partner running cleanup. Ethan Cole. Elijah's grin faded. Cole, the charming psycho? The same. Minutes passed. Then his fingers froze. Liam. Someone already tried to access this file. My stomach clenched. Who? He turned the screen toward me, one name blinking in red. Mara Jensen. I stepped back, shaking my head. No, she's gone, vanished. Not anymore, Elijah said. She pinged this data trail 2 nights ago, from a private network in Monaco. Ethan's current base. He nodded grimly. Looks like your ghost has new friends. I stared at the map glowing red. Then that's where I go next. He swiveled in his chair. You're bleeding, hunted, and technically dead. You sure you want to walk into the lion's den? I don't have a choice, he sighed. Then at least take this. He tossed me a small recorder. Insurance. If you're going to die again, make it count. Thanks, Eli. He smirked. Don't thank me. Just don't make me regret caring. By nightfall, I was in Monaco. The city glittered like sin dressed in diamonds. I slipped through the villa gates wearing a stolen security uniform. My pulse beat to the rhythm of danger. Inside, chandeliers hung like frozen fire. Voices drifted from the main hall. Ethan's among them. Smooth, confident. The same voice that once told me, "We're brothers, Liam." I moved closer, recorder hidden in my pocket. The ward situation is handled, Ethan was saying. He died in the explosion outside Manchester. Official reports being filed tomorrow. Laughter followed. Glasses clinked. I whispered, "You lying bastard." Then I saw her, Mara, standing near the table. Pale, tense, her eyes scanning the room until they stopped. On me. For a heartbeat. The world stilled. Recognition, shock, guilt. I shook my head slightly. Don't react. Ethan raised his glass. To the perfect cover-up. Mara's voice trembled. You didn't have to kill him. Ethan's smile turned razor sharp. Didn't I? He knew too much, she swallowed. He trusted you. And you trusted him, Ethan said softly, which makes you a liability. The air went silent. Ethan, please. The gunshot cracked through the music. Mara's body fell before her glass hit the floor. For a second, I couldn't breathe. My fingers dug into the recorder, shaking. Ethan lowered the gun, cold as marble. Leak sink ships, someone shouted. Security moved. I backed into the shadows, heart slamming. I wanted to run to her, to scream, to make him pay, but I couldn't. Not yet. Ethan turned to his men. Dispose of her. Then prep the jet. We leave within the hour. As they dragged her body away, I slipped down a corridor, every nerve on fire. I whispered into the recorder. He killed her. Ethan Cole murdered Mara Jensen. Timestamp. Now. I reached the back exit, but a guard spotted me. Hey, you! I lunged first, silencing him with a blow to the throat. He crumpled. I tore off his badge and sprinted through the kitchen, alarms blaring behind me. Gunfire ripped through the walls. I ducked, rolled, kicked open the service door, and ran into the night. My lungs burned. My hands shook. Mara's blood still on Ethan's shoes, in my head, everywhere. At the cliffs above the sea, I stopped. Waves crashed below. The city lights shimmered like false hope. I played back the recording. Ethan's voice, clear, arrogant, confessing to my death and her murder. Proof. But proof meant nothing if I couldn't stay alive. Elijah's words echoed. If you're going to die again, make it count. I looked back toward the villa, flames now licking its edge from the chaos inside. Mara, I whispered. I'll finish what you started. Then I saw it. Her handbag dropped near the hedge when they dragged her away. Inside, a small metal drive marked with a red circle. I held it up to the moonlight. The iron circle. The real data. My pulse steadied. Rage cooled into something sharper. Purpose. They think they killed me twice, I muttered. Third time's on my terms. I slipped the drive into my jacket, turned toward the highway, and disappeared into the dark. One dead man walking toward the truth. I never thought I'd wear a tux again, not after everything that burned. But tonight, it wasn't for glamour. It was for revenge. Elijah adjusted my bow tie, smirking. You clean up nicely for a dead man. Let's hope no one notices the resemblance, I muttered, glancing at the mirror. The man staring back wasn't Liam Ward anymore. He was something colder. Outside, the countryside estate glowed like an empire built on lies. Cars rolled up the marble driveway, politicians stepping out with their wives, soldiers of money and power. The commission's annual gala, its beating heart. Elijah, I whispered into the comms. Status? Kitchen secure. Staff cleared. Your window's 6 minutes, he replied, typing fast from the surveillance van. Once you're inside, second floor, east wing, Percival Grant's private study. Ethan's safe is behind the portrait. Got it. I picked up a silver tray, slipping into the flow of catering staff. The chandeliers above blinded everyone to the truth beneath their feet. A woman's voice stopped me near the corridor. Champagne, please, I turned. A young reporter, sharp eyes, fake smile. Her badge read Isla Dane. She leaned closer. You're not really staff, are you? My pulse spiked. Excuse me. Relax, she whispered. You've got soldier hands, not waiter hands. I've seen your face before. You're Liam Ward. I froze. You don't know what you're talking about. I do, she said quietly. And if you're here to take down the commission, I want in. I've been chasing their story for a year. Elijah, I hissed through the mic. We've got company. He groaned. Is she pretty? Focus. Then she's pretty, I sighed. Fine. You get me 10 minutes, Elijah. 10 minutes or 10 bullets, your call. I turned to Isla. You want in? Then stay out of my way, she grinned. Deal. The east wing was silent. Paintings of long-dead lords stared down, judging me. Behind one of them, a safe humming with secrets. Elijah's voice crackled. Codes on screen. 6 digits. Hurry, I typed it in. The lock clicked. Inside, 2 items. A cassette marked Mara Jensen copy, and a flash drive labeled Ethan Cole, private log. My throat tightened. Mara's handwriting. Ethan's secret. The ghosts I carried all led here. Elijah, I said. We've got it. Good. Get out before... The door slammed behind me. Ethan stood there, gun drawn. Tux immaculate. Smile venomous. Hello, brother. I stepped back. You don't get to call me that. Oh, come on, he said, circling like a vulture. You knew this was coming. You always had to be the hero. The righteous one, but me? I was tired of following orders. The commission offered something better. They offered you a leash. They offered me power. I clenched my fists. You killed Mara. He shrugged. Collateral. She started to care about you. That made her weak. The words tore something inside me. You don't even realize what you've become. Ethan's eyes glinted. You wanted justice. I wanted power. We both got what we wanted. He fired. I dove behind the desk as glass shattered. Pain stung my arm, but I crawled forward, slamming him into the wall. The gun slid away. We fought like old shadows, every punch carrying a decade of brotherhood gone wrong. He caught my jaw. I hit back hard. "She trusted you. She trusted you," he roared, grabbing my throat. "But you never told her what you did in Marseille, did you?" My grip tightened. "Enough." I drove him backward, slamming his head against the safe. He collapsed, gasping. The gun lay between us. He looked up, blood at his lip. "Do it. Be the killer they think you are." For a second I almost did. Then I lowered the gun. "No, you don't get that mercy," he laughed weakly. "Coward." "No," I said, pulling the flash drive from the safe. "Survivor. Elijah," I spoke into the mic. "Upload everything. Now." "Wait. Everything?" "All of it. The files, the recordings, the names. You're gonna nuke the system, mate. Then let it burn." The alarms blared before I even reached the staircase. People screamed, guards rushed past, chaos blooming like justice reborn. I shoved through the crowd, Isla at the exit, phone in hand. "You did it?" she shouted. "It's live," I said. "Every dirty secret, every name." Her eyes widened. "The world's about to explode." "Good." We ran to the van, Elijah grinning like a madman. "Uploading complete. Internet's eating it alive." I looked back through the rear window. The estate glowed under police lights and panic. For once, I felt something close to peace, until the radio crackled with breaking news. Authorities confirm all leaked files under the alias Iron Circle have been deemed fraudulent. Government sources call it a hoax designed by wanted fugitive Liam Ward. I stared at the radio, disbelief turning to rage. "They're burying it," Elijah said quietly. "They're burying the truth." I exhaled, slow and cold. "Then we dig it up again." Isla looked at me. "What now?" "Now," I said, "we stop playing defense." She raised an eyebrow. "Meaning?" I met her gaze. "Meaning we go after the ones who wrote the rules." Outside, sirens wailed in the distance. The night tasted like smoke and betrayal. Elijah grinned, starting the van. "You sure you're ready for round two?" I loaded a new magazine, staring at the horizon. I didn't come this far to stop halfway. The van rolled into darkness, carrying 3 fugitives and the truth no one wanted to hear. And somewhere behind us, the commission began to crumble, not from bullets, but from the one thing they never saw coming. 3 weeks. That's how long I've been dead. The world moved on. Headlines faded. My name became a rumor. A ghost story whispered between journalists and agents who didn't want to admit they'd failed to kill me. Now I'm just Michael Ashcroft, a quiet man renting a cabin on the coast. The sea's colder here, the kind that eats secrets instead of washing them clean. Elijah says it's poetic. I say it's punishment. He showed up tonight like he always does. No knock, no warning. Just a voice from the doorway. "You're getting good at playing dead," he said, stepping inside with that familiar smirk. I didn't look up from the kettle. Maybe because it's not an act anymore. He dropped a folded newspaper on the table. "Ethan Cole found dead in apparent suicide." My chest tightened. "When?" "Yesterday. Found in his flat, gun in hand. Single shot to the head." I stared at the photo. Ethan's old ID picture, confident, smug. He never had the courage for that. Elijah nodded slowly. "Yeah, I thought the same." Silence stretched. The kettle whistled. "So who killed him?" I asked. He sat down, rubbing his eyes. "Does it matter?" "Everything matters. Especially now." Elijah leaned back, scanning me. "You look tired." "I am." "Then maybe you should let this go." I poured the tea, the steam fogging my reflection in the window. "You think I can just forget?" "I think you already got your revenge, mate." I laughed bitterly. "Revenge? I didn't get revenge. I got scars and ghosts." He smiled faintly. "Sounds poetic when you say it." I took a sip, staring at the ocean. "The commission's gone, isn't it?" He shrugged. "Mostly. Their money's drying up. Members disappearing. Some found floating face down. Someone's cleaning house." "Someone," I repeated. "Or something." Elijah hesitated. "Liam, you sure you want to see this?" He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small recorder, the same model I'd used in Monaco. "What's on it?" He placed it on the table between us. Ethan's last message. I froze. "You found it?" "Encrypted on one of his drives." I nearly missed it. I swallowed hard. "Play it." He pressed a button. The tape hissed. Then Ethan's voice filled the room, shaky, quieter than I'd ever heard it. "You were right, Liam. The commission doesn't forgive. I just wanted to survive. The sound of glass breaking. Heavy breathing. Then a gun cocking. Tell him. I'm sorry. A single gunshot. Then silence. I stared at the recorder long after the static ended. Elijah didn't speak. When I finally did, my voice cracked. He died afraid. He died alone, Elijah said. I closed my eyes. So did Mara. He nodded softly. But you didn't. I looked at him. Didn't I? He smiled sadly. You've still got me, haven't you? And a world that hates you enough to prove you existed. I exhaled, pushing the recorder away. No, I've got one last thing to do. He frowned. Liam, I stood, grabbing my coat. Don't follow me. Come on, don't do the dramatic walk into the fog thing. Then stop me, he sighed. Bloody hell, you're impossible. I learned from the best. He smirked despite himself. Fine, go make it poetic. The cliffs were empty tonight. The wind howled against the rocks, the tide clawing at the shore below. I stood at the edge, staring into the black water. The original tape, the one that started it all, sat heavy in my hand. The sound of every lie, every death, every betrayal trapped inside that tiny piece of plastic. I turned it over once. The initials LW, still scrawled in red ink. Some truths, I whispered, are too heavy for the world. I threw it. The tape vanished into the waves without a sound. For a moment, I waited for something, relief, redemption, lightning. But the world stayed quiet. Only the sea answered. Behind me, Elijah's voice carried through the wind. You really think that fixes anything? I didn't turn. No, but it stops me from becoming what they were. He walked closer, jacket whipping in the wind. You sure you're done? I nodded. For now. He looked at the horizon. So what now, Ward? Now I disappear properly. Let the ghosts fight over the ashes, he smiled faintly. And me? You do what you do best. Dig, expose, survive. He held out a hand. Take care, yeah? I shook it firmly. You too. He turned to leave, then stopped. You're still being watched, you know. Someone's keeping tabs. I half smiled. Then they'll get a good show. When he was gone, I sat on the cliff's edge, the sea mist cooling my skin. Somewhere far away, the world still believed Liam Ward was dead. Maybe that was the point. I reached into my pocket, pulled out a small camera. Red light blinking. If you're watching this, I said, voice barely above the wind. Remember one thing. The sea crashed below. Never trust the silence. I turned the camera off, and for the first time in years, I wasn't running anymore.